The scope of this video is to talk about value, and I'm going to present some real estate that has inherent value, but from a standpoint of investment dollars, it might have a different value to various people. We're going to talk about it. There is an auction on the Tribunale di Lodi's website as of today, as well, at least the first time I've noticed it, and I decided to come check it out. It's on this side street of, I'm literally right down one step off of the main pass that goes through Sant'Angelo Lodigiano. And Sant'Angelo Lodigiano itself is a smaller community, but it has all its services, multiple banks, multiple grocery stores. It's just southeast of Milan, and I wanted to come check it out. I'm actually pretty intrigued by how this property is here, and it's for the price of $57,500. At least that's the base price of this auction. So right behind me, you can see the castle of Sant'Angelo Lodigiano, and we are literally, I could throw a stone at the property on the back side. I just wanted to show you a little bit about the neighborhood around. There are some newer properties as well as some quite old properties. This one used to be a big factory or community building, but there's just one wall remaining back over there. The things that intrigues me the most is taking an old property like this and restoring it. Most people would say to just rip it down, start over, use the property as it is, but there's some value when it comes to the past, the history of things. And if you can learn the history of something, then the real estate itself becomes at least more valuable to you. And I think that a lot of people taking that jump from going from American real estate to or other countries' real estate that don't have this type of Renaissance feel, that really gives you this desire to reconnect with history. Doing this kind of project can really give you that realization. Inside there's overgrowth of plants, and frankly it's about to come down. You can see through the roof at every single position. So this isn't the property we're talking about, but this is the kind of property that is adjacent to this property in this case. When it comes down to buying property in Italy, you have to decide, first thing, what kind of real estate you're looking for. Is it going to be something that you need to get money back out of, or is this a project that you're taking on as a pet project, I guess I would say. Because if it's a pet project, then you might be interested in a project like this one. Here ahead of me, I can see one side of the building already, and I'll try to get a shot of that for you. You can see the back side of what looks to be a construction project that was started back in the day. Most likely it's just because of the roof tiles that are falling, protecting the community members below. I just talked to a neighbor and asked how long this scaffolding has been there. They said just one of the tiles fell, so the community decided to put it up. From what you can see ahead of you, this property as well as that larger one are technically considered commercial use. And then around the other side, you can see this street itself is a little bit off the beaten path, but literally right there is where the cars pass frequently. This property is 1,000 square meters of courtyard, which is like 10,000 square feet of courtyard. And that building, I'm not sure, but this and that together, I believe, is about it said 2,000 cubic meters of space. And so I've never seen the calculation of cubic meters before. I don't know if this access is for that. I think it's for this property. There is this courtyard ahead of it, and then over on the other street I showed you the property itself. You can see what's going on here. It just looks like a small storage area. Well, this property has two accesses. Like I said, right behind me is, maybe you can see the bridge crossing Sant'Angelo Lodigiano, and right ahead of me is the other access of this property here, available on auction. And so we're gonna poke our heads in for a second and see what we can see, but I don't think we're gonna be able to access much. You can see there's a gate here right behind me. This is the car access, and then from what I can see, this little hole right here is also a pedestrian traffic, the entrance for the people. So I'm gonna lift this up here and show you. So this property has a courtyard between the back building that I showed you previously, and as well as this property behind me. From what I can see is it looks like it could be habitable. This section right here, it's right here on this main, this is not a main road, but it is a road that people pass frequently on. There's a doorway just right over here. I'm going to take a step across to the other side and show you from a distance what surrounds it. We're at the edge. This is that one side of the building itself. From what I understand, this section of it is not included. This itself is habitable up to a certain extent. You can see a newer chimney spout coming from the main floor up through the roof. So you know someone's lived there in the last 20 years. But I really, really wish I could walk in here and see what's going on. A little bit better. If this was me and I had to move from another country, I would pick up this auction and I would first restore this front section. It probably would take a lot less money in order to get it habitable. I mean, sure, it is almost already habitable, but there might be some remodel projects inside, like the kitchen. I'm not sure how different, like what the material is, whether it's reinforced concrete or wood between the floor for each level. Newer construction can be found all around. People are living here. People pass by frequently, and they pass by this year after year until a certain point is reached the auction, and now somebody potentially will pick it up for pennies on the dollar and give it a new face. The property itself is fairly large. It would be perfect for someone who wants to restore something new, to restore something old that actually has a newer section and an older section. Chances are that the back section will have to be torn down in certain areas and rebuilt, but it would be fun to find out if you could just restore to its old glory an industrial or commercial building like it's stating in the documentation.